Hello.
Hi. Welcome to a civilised environment.
Yes, a very civilised
You
environment.
could hear a penny drop in here. So, today we are in the lovely Hero building that we were in is it 2 weeks ago? Is it like...
It will be 2 weeks ago when this video comes out, yeah.
No.
And we're here today, like Ben said, we're in the Hero Arrive and Drive hangar. I like being able to just spin around and
Have a look.
talk about that. Yeah, and we're just going to talk about our experience with Hero on the Novice trial, really.
Yeah, and obviously because on the day it was quite difficult to capture film footage of us talking as well, and obviously the event itself was actually quite, it took a lot of concentration, so there wasn't time to speak to camera and whatever else. So we've luckily been given loads of B-roll footage, which we'll splice in from Hero themselves, which is really good, and today we're using this as a stitch-up.
So the rally took place over 3 days. It was a 3-day weekend. We had Friday, which was like sort of introduction. Saturday was practice, and Sunday was the actual event. And sorry, we've just been laughing. That's why I'm crying.
We'll probably keep that in.
And Ben's got the little book, and we're going to
Goes through each day
just go through each day basically, and then summarise our thoughts at the end.
of that. So on the Friday we arrived around, I think it started from 4:30, and it was a 2-hour classroom session with everyone that was taking part. You come in, you get all your documentation, these lovely Hero
I
brand
have
forms.
the book, Friday 20th of May, with my notes on it.
So you basically got everything about what would be taking place over the weekend, an introduction to the types of driving and navigating that you'd be using on the day. They didn't obviously go into great detail because that will be more for the Saturday when you actually start to put that into a practical application. But it was nice to meet everyone. Obviously it was really nice. We got all of those lovely books. We got like name tags, like actual plastic card name tags with your name on them. So
Yeah. And we've got all of that
stuff.
We've got all of that stuff with us. And this is the book that we got on that first classroom session. And it's basically, it is just a complete introduction, if you like, into what we were to expect over the weekend, like Ben said. It's got all of our how to read the tulips and all the direction notes and
General rules, etiquette of the road, things like that.
Talking about triangles and things in the direction books, which we'll get onto. Just a pure introduction into what was going to happen.
And then obviously because Hero is based up at Vista Heritage, we could then go to the Wrigley Monkey, which is a pub. It's a pub, isn't it? Brewery.
Yeah, it's a
Brewery pub, and you can have a conversation with your fellow rally enthusiast. And sort of just have a nice night before the storm of the Saturday. So, the Saturday, we arrived, I think it was at 8 o'clock in the morning, earliest start, and at that point, first on the list was scrutineering, which is essentially you have a group of technicians check over your car to make sure that it's kitted with everything you need in terms of do all your indicators and lights work? Do you have a working horn, battery cut off, like things that I can't remember the exact list. We do have that.
We do have the list, I think, somewhere. But anyway, either way, it was a checklist that we had to pass. Like Ben said, do all the safety things work?
Noise test.
Yes. Do we have everything we need? And there was a decibel noise test to make sure the car didn't make too much noise.
To annoy the people of the villages in which we would be driving.
Yes.
So that all passed through in the morning, and then we had sort of 8 o'clock till 10:30. We had to get that done, and we had to get something called the measured distance test completed. So basically, to compete, you have to have a trip, which is the amount of distance you've done. The car will literally recognise up to 0.0 of a mile, so it would read, if it was 5.23 miles, it's 5.2, so it's that exact. Did the measured distance test, and we noticed that for every checkpoint we got to, it clicked over to the distance like half a second too late. So that's not really an issue on a 5-mile circuit, but if it clicks over half a second too late for 5 miles, in 50 miles, you might be 0.2, 0.3, 0.4 miles out, in which you will miss the direction that you've been given because your trip is incorrect. So we went round and did it again, setting it to 5:05, thinking that would keep it more at speed. That made it worse. We then came back around and did it on 5:03, and that didn't work either. So we settled for 5:04 and assumed that we had cut corners. So basically you have to drive the exact amount of road possible. If you cut corners, over time that will cut off distance because you're meant to be tracking the entire distance. So cutting corners isn't faster.
Yeah, and a perfect example of cutting corners is turning right or turning left onto a T-junction. If you cut
Almost like a diagonal line or a swooped line.
you have to go all the way up to where you're level with the lane and then turn and go down that lane. Otherwise it will go over the distance and you'll lose your place.
Yeah, so basically we that took us over an hour, and we were then getting very close to our classroom session in the morning, so we just never assumed, but we thought it was us, and we kept it at 5:04, which did actually turn out to be correct in the end. We did get it right the first time. We just I drove. Cutting those corners is just the racing driver within me.
And on Saturday morning as well, we had an interview from Hero's media team with Tony Jardine, who works with Hero.
Yep.
And here is our Saturday morning interview.
I think we want to sort of give our perspective as two young guys. I'm 22, Ben's 23.
Yeah.
We want to kind of just show off, show that it's
A thing that you
accessible
can
and
do.
something that we can do as young guys.
Particularly as people are, that we know of who are into cars our age, will be into stuff from our era kind of thing, and having done this for 3-4 months of being into it, it's just cooler.
I've always been very interested in navigation. Probably since I listened to a podcast once with Nicky Grist, and that really sort of turned my head onto it a bit. And when Ben said, "Do you want to sit next to me on this rally?" I said, "Yeah, obviously."
So if Alistair is going to be Nicky Grist, you presumably going to be Regularity's version of Colin McRae.
That's
there's
exactly
your
the name
pressure.
that I'd have come up with like last night in my head.
Enjoy it all.
Thank you.
The lessons and practice today and the rally on Sunday.
Excellent.
Great to see you, Ben.
Thank you very
too.
much. Cheers.
And there we are.
For us, that was a second.
Yeah.
So we had that on Saturday morning, and then we had in the afternoon our practice runs, which were basically exactly like the day after. That's what you'd be doing on the Sunday, but there was no competitive element to it. You were doing it. They also told us not really to worry about the times in terms of when you arrive. It was more get your distance and your checkpoints right, because I think the phrase they use is it's better to be late on the right road than early on the wrong road.
So Friday, as we've said, was an introduction, and Saturday was putting that introduction into practical application. So we did a practice route, practice regularity.
Do you want to get the book?
Yes, I will. I have the practice route book here. Well, it's all very lovely. It's all amazing stuff. So here we are. We have the practice route here. Zero trip, which is the gate over there as you leave.
There would literally be a big plastic board in which you have to get they call it a stride, which basically means front wheels past it, rear wheels behind it. So you're in the middle. You want it almost to be on the driver's door. And then you literally turn your trip off, turn it back on again, and it resets to 0.
And so it was just putting what we'd learned into practical application. Obviously, the Saturday route was not the Sunday route, because obviously that'd be giving everything away. But yes, it was just really, really nice from my perspective as a navigator as well to learn how to communicate this to Ben, and Ben, but it was learning the dynamics of being in the car, wasn't it?
Yeah. That was all of the Saturday. We went home that night fairly happy. I wasn't completely lost.
Neither was I. And on the Saturday evening, we got given our route book for the Sunday. Yes, so
Sunday, big day.
The big day.
What have I got first?
So first of all, once again, we were actually interviewed on Sunday morning, just a bit of a catch-up before the rally started.
And you will see this now.
Are you nervous?
Yes. Yeah.
Alistair, how are you feeling?
All right. Excuse me. There you go.
Nervous? It's not something you just go and do every day. Like, this is the first time we've done anything motorsport related, and we've probably waited our whole lives to do that. So enjoy it and hope we can get, I'd say, top quarter is where I want to put myself.
Well, we'll see you on the podium then.
Yes. I hope you enjoyed that.
Everyone had a start time, and depending on what car you were, we were car 22, it would be 22 minutes after the first car. It was actually 21 minutes because there was no car 13. Did they actually do that because they thought it's bad luck?
I'm not sure if they did it because they thought it was bad luck, or if they did it because you then had to think that extra level. Instead, because it's all very well thinking, if you're car 0 and we're car 22, oh yeah, we'll go 22 minutes, and obviously it has to be bang on the minutes. So
no one was there to remind you. If you
Yeah.
weren't reminded, you would just miss it, and I guess that's competition. That's the
yeah, you
point.
just got the one thing we had to do the entire weekend was just keep on it, keep on top of things. So we were interviewed Sunday morning just before we started,
Which you've seen.
and then we did 2 track tests in the morning.
2 track tests, which was cones on the track, and you were told to be left or right of either side of them, or you would loop one, and that was all. Have you got the map?
I have them here in my pouch. I have the Sunday route book. And no. So, yes, so here you go, look. So we start in the car park, we come under the arch, and we go to the test, which is over there on the circuit, which you've seen in a couple of our other videos.
Yeah.
And then we have a map. I'm not sure how
We'll splice some B-roll of it.
how clearly you can see that. But anyway, we've got cone A all the way to K, and we'd start the test, and I would basically just shout at Ben a couple of cones ahead what we're doing. We're going left of A, right of B, left of C, stop at the code board so we can write down a code, and then carry on. Right of D, left E, right F,
And this was the only part of the day that was genuinely about drive fast. We had 4 of them, 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, and I think we nailed all of them but one, which was our second? No, it was our second one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And we missed a cone. That's the killing thing. We missed one cone, and that cost us 30 seconds overall on the day, which
We'll get on to where we came
in the end.
later.
But that was the only thing that on the day that really cost us. So those track tests were the first part of the day. We then went on to the day itself, which was a multitude of regularities where you drive to one, you would do the test, and they'd be anywhere from 10 miles to 20 miles. You then had a break where you didn't have to drive in a particular fashion, fast or slow, to the next one. So there was gaps in between to sort of get your head together, prepare for the next one, and there were random people on different points. Random people, no. There were people set by
random points.
No, yeah, people on random points, not random people. There were random points where people would be waiting for you to time you on these regularities, because the whole point is that you don't know when it's coming. If you knew where this person was standing, you could drive as slow as you want, fast as you want, and then just wait before that next point to pardon. You could just wait to get to that point. The whole point is you didn't know where they were, so you had to drive the entire regularity to exactly what they told you, because at any one point someone there could be there to catch you out and say, you were late, you were early, whatever it was.
Yeah.
So it made you drive the entire thing in a coordinated fashion.
Yes, and the way I would do that is, let's take this first regularity for example. I would have a thumb on the distance, and I'd have a thumb on the time that we were supposed to be there, and I would just call out the visual references to Ben and make sure we weren't dropping time or going too fast. And yeah, like Ben said, every now and again there would be these checkpoints randomly, and of course once we got to the checkpoint we were then there for about 20-25 seconds and we'd lose time, so we then had to get a little bit of a hustle on to then
catch up, because they obviously stop you. They take your code board or your timing board, they write it in, they give you the time, so that all the time that you're sat there stationary you're still not moving, kind of thing, so you'd have to catch up. That wasn't particularly hard to do. When we got to the final 2 track stages, the car was overheating very badly. It's just one of those things that we need to sort out with the Elf. It's nothing on Blue Diamond either, it's just a thing that pops up when we were driving. We got to the final stages and the car was in super hot. And I'm thinking, well, what do we do? Because I was told by John, at any point if the car goes in the red, don't drive it.
Yeah, so what actually happened was we were sat on the start line for the second test, the final thing we had to do on the Sunday, and we actually turned the engine off for a few seconds. And it was literally 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, go. Do the test, finish the test, pull over, and just let it cool.
But something to think about. So, the result.
Yes, so if you're still with us, hopefully you are.
we decided we were going to make this video a bit of a longer one, just on the basis of, there's actually lots to unpack here, and it's not a 10-minute video. We want to really go in depth about our experience, what happened on the day for us, and what that ultimately means going forward. Blah, blah, blah.
So that's so we hope we've explained to some sort of level what we had to do. Now let's talk about how we felt.
Yes, indeed. So,
because
thoughts for the day from you. You go first. Just do something.
Like I said, it's hard to put into words how you feel, but we took part in a motorsport event, and to someone who's loved cars ever since they can remember, as we both have.
We're not going to go we may do one day, but in reality, we're not just going to go take part in a competitive track day event. That's not accessible.
It was just brilliant, and people talk about the motorsport bug or the car bug, and if we can bring younger people in so they can get it, we just want everybody to get it, because it genuinely was one of the most special weekends of our lives.
If you can watch this and it inspires you to go do one yourself, then that's as much as we can ask for. I mean, this is the TR3 that won overall.
This is like Ben said, this is the TR3 that won it overall.
It's the Hero Arrive and Drive car. So basically, all of these up here are cars that if you don't have a vintage car, you can rent from Hero for the weekend, and they come fully race prepped.
So yes, this won it. They also had 2 class wins, and behind the camera. There's the 911 that they've got. They've got a Lancia Fulvia Zagato. There's a Mini just there as well. And these are all.
You can hire them for the rally.
You can.
And use them. So obviously, again, that's a bit more accessible if you don't own a vintage car.
Yeah.
You can at least use one and not worry about it. It was great to. Well, we can now get on to this.
Yes.
Because this does summarise our feelings. I present you with the Clockwatcher Award for Supreme OCD-ness.
Yes, so my OCD...
Explain what this is. Why did we get this?
So, this is one of 2 awards that we got. So this is the Clockwatcher Award, and this played on the heartstrings a little bit, this one, just because we got this award because we lost the least amount of time over the entire day.
So that's why we got that award.
That's what won us the Clockwatcher Award, because over the entire day we dropped, I think, 29 seconds overall. So,
well done us.
Well done us.
But
and our other award,
first in class.
First in class. So we were class 2, which was cars
60
19
to 70, wasn't it?
I think it was 60 to 66.
Okay.
And we got first in class. We were 4th overall.
And this is when we talk about this cone.
This bloody cone.
This bloody cone. If we had gone just around it, not even, in any amount of time, just literally gone to the right of it as opposed to the left of it, we would have gained 30 seconds back, meaning we would have been 2nd overall, and we would have been 7 seconds off winning it. Which, for our first one, we're pretty happy with.
Yeah, I mean, we were beating ourselves up a bit at first.
Until
this happened.
But here's the other thing that you may not have seen on the result sheet yet, and that is that in terms of the regularities, you were top of the sheets because you 2 lost the least amount of time.
Do we actually?
Did we really?
Well then.
That's, oh,
I
wow.
didn't know that.
That's amazing.
Okay, great.
So
I feel better now.
So the only thing that let us down was the test?
Yeah.
Because we missed a cone.
One cone.
One cone.
That's amazing. Thank you for telling us
So,
that.
fantastic.
burning question, will you two be back for more?
Yes.
Yes.
Immediately.
Oh, absolutely. You'll see us back, for sure.
Yeah.
So this is the Regularity Colin McRae, and this is the Regularity Navigator Nicky Grist, right?
Oh, yes.
Future's bright.
Congratulations.
Thank
Colin.
you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So yes, that was actually quite a nice moment because we didn't know we were actually going to win that award until Tony told us in that interview.
In the flesh.
So yeah, I think hopefully again you're still with us. And I don't know how well or how badly or whatever, however, we've explained all of what's been going on over that weekend. It was a mega weekend. We absolutely loved it. Point is, we did our first rally and we came away with 3 trophies. Blue Diamond got 6 trophies because they had 3 cars on the rally.
Shout out to them.
So shout out to Blue Diamond. Like we said, Hero Arrive and Drive, the TR3 won it overall. I think the TR4 that's over there came second.
Yeah.
They had 2 class wins. They've got a mega partnership as well to make sure that events like this and the company itself is carbon neutral, which is amazing because we get to enjoy classic cars and
have a bit more peace of mind.
give something back.
Yeah. And when you consider it's literally something that you can just turn up and do. There's no level of like training in something. You don't have to go to a driver fitness test or whether you can go round fast enough or whether you're good enough for the team. Or you can literally come and do this, take part in an actual Motorsport UK event, feel like you're driving well and racing or whatever else, and take away trophies.
Yes, yeah. And so
It's an all-round complete package.
So yeah, the novice trial, do check it out because if you do want to get into vintage classic rallying, it's phenomenal. We still can't believe that we actually did it.
And we'll likely be doing another one in July. We're hoping to do the challenge 2,
We are.
which we will come first.
I think that's probably a good place to summarise. Thank you very much to Hero for putting the event on and letting us film in
With all the lovely cars.
their special shed.
Yeah.
And thank you, Hero, for all the footage that we've been splicing in over the course of
Video,
this.
because we weren't there to do that.
So yeah, that was our experience on the Hero Novice Trial 2022. We'll probably be back doing some more rallying because we are now addicted to it. And thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Huzzah! Right, I think if we record that again...
Take 2.